Welcome, 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 my lovelies. Thank you so much for watching this video today and coming to see me. And I hope you have a cuppa with you or whatever takes your fancy. Cheers. Oh, lovely. Right, now today I have to say I have a splitting headache. Boo! Such a bad headache right here, right there. Oh, I have also had a haircut as well, so I've had two things, headache and a haircut. Win-win. Yes, I'm absolutely sure it's nothing to do with drinking last night, because we weren't. We were just having a cup of tea, watching TV. So it wasn't alcohol, but I can't sleep very well at night because all I am thinking about is what I am doing next, and I'm sure it is lack of sleep that is giving me a headache. But moving on, because one thing I will not do is sit around all day doing nothing. I do understand people that do that. Some people can't do anything else, they're not able to. But I wouldn't choose just to do nothing all day. So headache or no headache, let's move on because I've waited all through the night to get here. So as in the last video, I had a package come through the other day or the other week, and I am now going to start using some of it. It's for two different things, what's in here. So I'm going to start with one of them and then move on to the next one, hopefully all in the same video. Oh, too excited, need to. I do want to say hello to a few of you. I can't remember how many more at the moment, but some of you have messaged with different things and from different places, and I want to say hello to you. I won't do it now. I'll do it a little bit later on in the video, just in case people just want to see what I'm doing, and I don't want anyone getting too bored. So I've taken off the ceiling again, as you can see, and I have moved the column. I could move the column into another room, but I'm sure it's fine there. Just move it into the corner at the moment. So what I'm going to start with, first of all, in the gallery, if you can see, hope it's not too far away for you, but obviously along this big wall is just going to be crying out for artwork with paintings and whatever along the wall here. And this end up here, I'm going to build the till or the counter, whatever you want to call it. So that's going to go along here. So that's fine up this end. So from about here down, where there's going to be lots of artwork hanging up, I want to do some strip lighting. Let me take this out first of all, and I have bought myself some LED strip lights, and in sections of 3, and I think they're probably they're bright because I got the white lights, not the warm yellow lights. I just want everything to show up as clear as possible, with it being art. I don't want coloured lighting. So I'm going to do modern lighting along the back wall, and I'm going to put 2 or 3 probably of these in hidden in this lighting wall. That's for the other project. Okay, that's what else is left in here will be for something else a bit later on. But we're going to start with LED strip lighting. Never used LED strip lighting. I have tested one on the end of the transformer that we use, the 12-volt transformer. I want it all electric. I don't want to mess around with batteries and things. I personally, when we want to look at a house and we want to look at it lit up, I don't want to have to go round and remember which rooms have batteries at the back that I have to click on to make the lights go on. I just like to switch it on at the wall and the building lights are simples. So yeah, so what I did find out, if anyone hasn't used LED, if you have, you already know. Let me put my glasses on. I haven't even read the wrapping, I haven't even read the label. So it may or may not have given me instructions or destructions, and it doesn't in fact give you them. But when you take them out, did I take one out? Oh, I took one out already to try. Unlike the normal dollhouse lighting, which just has there's some lighting wire. It's just white and they're both white, the two joins there. And it doesn't matter which way around you put it onto the back of the copper wiring unit when you attach that to the back. With this one, black and red wires it comes with, so obviously it tells me there's a positive and a negative. What I didn't know was when you do attach it to the mains, if you add one to one side and one to the other, it may or may not work, and if it doesn't, just switch them round and put the red one on that wire and the black one on that wire, and then they light up. So a lot of you electricians and dollhouse people that already know about this will be saying that's obvious, but these wires aren't coloured either. In fact, one of the black cables has a very faint grey line, dotted line on it, so I suppose that would be a positive and negative for this. So, but they do work, so that's fantastic. So, and it's going to look, I think, in my head, as always, it either does or doesn't look sort of amazing. This does look really cool when it's done. So let's move on. And then I'll say hello to some of you guys in a bit. I haven't used it before, I don't think, but I'm going to use some foam board. This one is just the Elmer's foam board. We don't get that here, as far as I know, in the UK. But I bought that when we were on holiday in Chicago, in Blix, the art shop in Chicago. So yay for Blix. So I got a few sheets of this, because I had ideas for it before we came home. So what I've done is, or what I have did, is cut two strips of it, one slightly narrower, one slightly wider, and all I'm going to do is place it at right angles, like so, and then I'm going to attach that to the back of the wall, and then underneath the roof part of it, I'm going to glue, they have sticky pads on, but I'm going to glue the strip light in, drill holes in the back so the wires can go straight out the back, and then the front there will cover it all up, and you'll just have the light coming down the wall, hopefully, onto the artwork. So, sounds good? So let's hope it is. Someone out there may be thinking, no, this is not going to work, it will look terrible. And some of you might be thinking, good idea. And some of you might be thinking, get on with it. So I've cut the pieces just for the length that I want. I don't want them to come right up to this end of the shop. As I said, this is going to be a sort of different area here. So I just want it to sort of start from near the pillar and go along right up to here somewhere, so you can see it when you come in the door, or people or customers coming into the shop, into the gallery. So let's move this back slightly, and all I'm going to do, one moment. Okay, so I'm just using some tacky glue just to see if this works. It's very lightweight, the foam board. I just need to stand up for this and place this on at the right angle. Talking of which, I have started filming another video for you guys, doing something completely different, again, that I've never used before, and I can't wait to show you that either. Again, it's for the gallery part of the building before we start building the next floor. So hurrah. Something to look forward to, as always. Okay. So that's glued. I'll show you it long ways like that. So actually that's the short bit. So that bit will come to the wall, and then this bit will come down at the front, and the lights are going to be up inside here, so you won't actually see the fitting of them. And I'll just glue that to the wall when what I'm going to do is measure the whole thing, obviously, the height that I want it and where I want the lights to go. I'll probably stick the lights in here and just see where the wires come out, and I'll mark that on the wall, and then I'm going to drill holes straight through the wall so the wires can go straight out, so there'll be no wiring inside this bit either. So it will be very neat and clean. So I shall let that dry, and then at the ends, I haven't actually cut them properly yet. I haven't measured them. I'm just going to do some little squares of foam board, and then just put those, a bit bigger than that, and put those over the ends just to enclose each end, so you can't look down through them. So I'll finish constructing this. It's just simple. I'll get that done, and then I'll mark out the wall before I put the lights attached to this, and then see where we go from there. And also I think I'm going to, because it doesn't look good, I'm going to get some Mod Podge where the foam board, where you can see the foam board there, that will be up that way, so you'd have to get in, well, you wouldn't be able to get in there really and look down on it, but I know it's there, so I'll just get some Mod Podge and fill that foam in, and then I can paint over white just to cover it up again. So let's finish that, and then I'll get my notebook as well and say hello to you guys. Hurrah! Okay, so okay, we haven't capsized. I've just turned it over so it's easier to work on the back wall. So that's the piece finished, and I've Mod Podged along there. Although this is going to be so close to the ceiling that you won't actually physically be able to see the top of this anyway. So, but at least I know it's neat. So that would be the front. So I've put the lights on the top part, so they're facing straight down rather than the inside edge facing the wall. So the lights will actually be, I don't think it makes any difference, but they will be coming straight down the direction of them. I've glued them all in. Just they have got sticky back adhesive backs, but I also added a tiny bit of tacky glue on as well, just to hold them on. And I've measured where I want it to go, and I've drilled, maybe can't see it properly on the video, but I've drilled 3 holes there to put the wires in. What I also, how I've also done it, so to me it looks really good, is this whole bar is going to go directly under the, what do you call it, the RSJ in the ceiling. So where that comes from the front of the shop to the back wall, this will be just below it, hopefully, if not touching it, but just below it. And then looking into the shop, that will look, I think, really good. So what I'm going to do is, to fix this to the wall, I'm going to put some tacky glue around the edges. And then I'm going to feed the 3 wires, or the 6 wires, through the back of the house, and then put this where I've marked it as well, and where I want it to go. And then it should hold fairly quickly. The tacky glue is quite good for more or less instant hold, although it takes a while to go off. It does tend to hold in place fairly well. If I leave it down like this, then it hasn't got anywhere to fall. So if I remember, it's going in like that. So what I will do is push these wires through. It's probably an easier way to do this. I don't know. As I like to say, Who knows? Who cares? As long as the job is done. Now, without that touching anything, I can get these, pull them through, like so. Feed them through a bit more. There we are. And then if you can see that, and then I'll just turn this round carefully. Push this to the wall, and I can line it up with the pencil marks. There we are. I've just laid the shaped metal ruler that I use with my X-Acto knife. I've just laid that on top because it's reasonably heavy, and that should keep that in place while it dries. So I won't, in this video, guys, I won't be able to show you it lit up. I'm sorry to say, because obviously I'm going to wait until the house is finished before, and it's all glued together, before I actually apply the copper strip circuit unit that I'm going to make for the back, or to apply at the back to do the entire lighting. So all I do is, which you should do, is check your bulbs and to the transformer and your lights before you fit them into the house, so you know the bulbs are actually live and they're in and work in order, and then fit them in and then attach them through the back on your copper tape if you're doing the copper tape system. Some people do the strip system where you need all the leads to have plugs on each end. That's too fussy for me. The copper tape, I'll show you in the video near the end of this build. It'll be some time yet, I'm afraid, but it's a really good system. You guys that have already done it will know what I'm talking about, and the ones that don't know will probably be interested in seeing how I do this. So that's the lighting in place. We'll let that dry, and then I have actually my headache has got worse, I'm afraid. Oh God, it feels bad. Yes, I will carry on this video in any second now, but it will probably be tomorrow that I carry it on, because I think I'm just going to leave that to dry and lie down and have a rest. Okay, folks, speak to you in a minute. Yay! So, okay, welcome back to part 2, I'll call it, part 2. I'm sure I'm in a different outfit, I can't remember, who knows, who cares. Not a day has gone by, I think a couple of days have gone by. Headache has gone completely, hurrah. But we are going to get on with the next stage of the house. Before that, I just need to say some things, and I've got some exciting news for you guys. Stop moving your hands like this all the time, it's really irritating. But I still do have exciting news for you guys, so listen up, as they say. Before we go on to any of that, and I've got this as well, arrived in the post yesterday, so I haven't opened it, it's nearly killed me. But I have saved it for you guys, so I'm going to open it with you. Obviously something for the house. Before we move on any further, I just need to say hello to a few more people. I need to do this. I have to get it all out of my system. So first of all, although I've spoken to you loads of times, but I've just found out where you're from. Tracy Compton. Hi, if you're watching, Tracy. Thank you so much for your messages and your comments. I love it. And you are from Salisbury in Wiltshire. I mean, we've driven through Salisbury Plain. Obviously, well, to those who don't know, that's where Stonehenge is, amongst many other beautiful things to see in Salisbury. But we drive past there exactly on the road. Is it I had to look it up. It's the A303, the main road, going right past Stonehenge whenever we have gone to visit Cornwall or Devon. So we pass that a lot. So next time, hopefully this year, if we go, of course I'll take you guys with us, because we'll do a lot of Out with Rich if we go on holiday. You won't miss out on anything, believe you and me. I'm a sharing kind of guy. I like to share. What can I say? But yes, so when we drive past Stonehenge in Salisbury, I will think of you, Tracy, and wonder where you are and if you're having a nice day. And also, you say that you like to go into the DIY stores to look at normal wallpapers. You can tear off sample pieces in the UK or I suppose anywhere, and use them. They're great if you get the right pattern, the right colours. Really good idea. I have done that once or twice in the past, but it's really hard. If I've got an exact design, it's really hard just to find it in my local DIY store, but they are good places to look. Oh, and also, I think it was yourself that, I've got the camera at the wrong angle, but just over there on the wall is a small house box thing on the wall with some miniature things in, and you asked to see what that was. So let me, before I say hello to the other one or two of you, let's just go over to the wall and show everyone what you were asking about. Right. It's on a narrow wall here. There's a plant holder which we have flowers in spring and summer. And usually in this space between here and the fridge is the ironing board. And I don't know why I moved it out the way before filming this, because now I've told you that we usually keep our ironing board in there. Perfect place to keep it. So here we have a little house box, John painted white. And these are some of his miniature faces that he makes. I mean, they're big scale for miniature, but just small faces. He absolutely loves making them. If I can take one out here without dropping it. But he does all, this is all ceramic. So he makes them in clay. We bisque fire them, then he glazes them, and then we refire them again, just like my miniature vases that I make. So these are just crazy. I mean, they're absolute characters, every single one of them, and I love them. He does, in case anyone's wondering, he does actually make them for sale. He does sell them as well. We haven't actually put them on my Etsy shop yet. He doesn't really want to start one up, but I may start putting them on for him if he says he really wants to do that. And we'll start selling them. That's a lovely big one with her crazy face and her hair. Wonderful. So yes, there we are, Tracy. That's what's in the little house box. And also, how rude of me, I haven't said cheers yet, my lovelies. Cheers. You know me and my tea. Oh, it's one of my pleasures in life, is a cup of tea. Okay, let me just finish off quickly because I must. I'll also, Alexandra, I've said hello to you quite a few times. I did mistake you for somebody else that lives in Holland, but you're Alexandra, you actually live in Alkmaar City, which is northern Holland. And I knew already, although you told me, but it's well known for its cheese, and I love cheese. Maybe that's a reason to come and visit one day. We'll see. And also, last but certainly not least, a young lady called Skerika. Skerika, hello, if you're watching, you're from Provo in Utah, in the US. Wonderful. Thank you very, very much for watching my channel. And you mentioned that you have been working on a dollhouse. I think that it was your mother-in-law's dollhouse. You've been working on it for the past 4 years. I should have wrote that down. Sorry if I'm wrong. But you have got a YouTube video channel, Skerika, and I watched some of your videos. I have to say, what you're doing to your houses, I mean, especially compared to this, because it isn't lived in yet, but your houses, your rooms are crammed. I mean, they look so full of life. It's unbelievable. So I think that reflects on you as a person, so full of life, I am guessing. So thank you very, very much, Skerika, for showing us that. And I shall watch some more when I have some more spare minutes. Right. Before I go on to this and open this, my good news, or exciting news, is, let me open up a little thing that's written about her. We were out yesterday in the car, and we ended up visiting, or we were invited to visit one of our friends, and her name is Emma Waddell. You can look her up on dollhousegranddesigns.com. Look at that online. Some of you will already know Emma Waddell is she's internationally renowned dollhouse interior designer, and I mean internationally renowned. I will read you a little bit here, just a very short bit, in case you don't know of her, but if you're into dollhouses, you must know her. But just in case you don't, then look her up. I mean, she lives close to us, so we can visit, which is absolutely a dream, absolutely a dream. So Emma's work has been showcased in many magazines, advertising campaigns, shop displays and television programmes. Her work has been widely publicised in such publications as You Inspire, The Mail on Sunday, Grazia magazine, and many dollhouse magazines. Harper's Bazaar, I used to read Harper's Bazaar as a teenager. I was so into fashion. Harper's Bazaar commissioned a £10 million shoot. The You Inspire magazine has also used her dollhouses to showcase their £2 million jewellery display by Chanel, Tiffany's and De Beers. She was invited by Alan Titchmarsh. Alan Titchmarsh, if you don't know, is one of our all-time favourite garden people on TV. I watch him all the time, along with other garden well-known celebrities. Love gardening, as you'll know if you've seen my garden videos. But she was on the Alan Titchmarsh show, because he is into dollhouses. She's done work for him, and he wanted to talk about the 12 scale miniatures and different things. Kelly Hoppen, interior designer. I don't know her personally, but I have seen her a lot. From the Dragon's Den, she also presented the house as well. I know I am allowed to say that she's also done work for dollhouses for Colin Firth, the actor. But I cannot mention, because I don't know, because she's not allowed to mention, other really high celebrity people, famous people that she has also done work for. So that has put you in the picture of who Emma Waddell is. I mean, she's obviously wonderful at her work. She's a genius. She's been doing it for years. She lives, breathes, eats dollhouse design. But really, truthfully, I would say the best thing, or the best attribute about our Emma, is she makes a cracking cup of tea. All that fame and everything, but her best thing really is making cups of tea. She's really good at it. So let's move on. Oh, and why I've told you all this introduction, because the good news is, my phone over there, the good news is that while we were talking to Emma, I also, while I was there, I bought a high-end kitchen off her, an ultra-modern high-end kitchen from her, which is going to go into the kitchen of the Art Deco house, because as you know, they are modern contemporary people with an Art Deco touch, but the kitchen is going to be extremely modern. So I've brought that home last night, looked at it again this morning, licked it a bit, made it a cup of tea, made friends with it, and eventually it will go in the kitchen when the kitchen appears, which will be on this floor here. While we were there talking to Emma, and I was telling her about what I'm up to at the moment with the dollhouse build, and she has been so kind as to invite you guys to her home in Sudbury, and we are going to go there maybe in a week, maybe in a couple of weeks, but we are planning, keeping in touch obviously, and we are going to go and do an Out with Rich, and we are going to go to Emma's home, and she has invited you all to come and see her work. I don't even want to tell you about it just now. wait for the video. The scale of things is 1/12, but the scale in which she has them in is just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. I won't talk about all that and go on about it, even though we were there just yesterday, so it's all going around in my head again. I want to talk about it, but we will leave that for the video. So maybe a couple of weeks or so, we'll get together and I will take you guys with us. And she's allowed us to enter her home. Hurrah! Oh, we can see her workshop there. I mean, she's got the most amazing workshop. Anyway, so we'll thank you so much, Emma. I've no idea if you're watching or not. I think you're probably far too busy. In fact, we only had a few hours to visit Emma yesterday because we then had to leave to go to be somewhere else. But coincidentally, Emma also, at the same time, I think it was around 4 o'clock, 4:10 yesterday afternoon, she was had to get ready quickly for a Zoom interview on BBC Suffolk, Radio BBC Suffolk. And God love her, we were there till the last minutes. So after we left, I think about 10 minutes later, she was then in another room in her house doing a radio interview, of which we sat in our car driving back to our destination where we were trying to get to, sitting in the car just listening to her, and she was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So right, let's have a quick drop of tea. Oh, I have to get Emma to make tea and post it through or something, because it was a really nice cup of tea that she made yesterday. Right, this arrived in the post also. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it, so we're going to open it up now. And oh my goodness gracious me! Right, let's move this camera down a little bit. I won't pause, I'll just move. Hopefully don't drop everything on the floor. And tip these out. This is, oh, they're all on wood. Wonderful. This is all Art Deco. Oh wow. Oh wow, I didn't realise I'd got that many. Well, I must have got a bit crazy. Right, I'm not going to go through them all, but oh, wow. But they're all different shapes and sizes. Look, Tamara Delembica. Hurrah! Now I can put these as they are on walls and just glue them on. Some of them I may make little frames for them, put them round frames. And look at this big, large, that's a sort of big hallway piece with Art Deco lady. That's a mould, that's absolutely wonderful. But these are all I bought specially, there we are, there. Specially bought ones like Vogue cover magazines. I do love my fashion and fashion magazines and photographs. So there's all different ones there, and the smaller ones, they'll go in different. They'll be great for different rooms. I think this kind of thing, that just screams Art Deco. Absolutely amazing. So there we are. Oh, she's just an outrage. Look at the flamingo. Absolutely well. She's something like from the I don't know, maybe from the Moulin Rouge, something like that. There we are on that one. Absolutely wonderful. Oh look, that's so Art Deco. Wonderful. So they've on that one as well. I think every one I looked at, I thought, oh, I love that. I want that one. That will go in the house, and that will go in the house. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. so they will look fantastic in all the different rooms. I may even have artwork in the bathroom. I think that's a lovely place to put artwork. So there we are. Wonderful. Right, let's get on with this. Before I forget as well, because I forgot to mention in the last clip that Emma Waddell was also, you might know her as she was one of the judges on Best in Miniature, the miniaturist show filmed in Canada. We saw it on our television, and I think they're doing, I think she said yesterday, they're doing a series 2 at the moment. Oh my God, I can't wait. She told us the type of houses that are going to be in the series, and one of them is an Art Deco house. It's probably going to be out of this world. But I will do my own thing, and my thing will be my thing. But yes, so she was one of the judges, blonde hair, really pretty, although I don't want to get her too big-headed. But yes, she was one of the judges on Best in Miniature. So, right, let's move on with this. We're going to carry on with the lighting theme for the gallery. As you know, at the moment, I've done a strip of lighting along the back wall there, comes up to there. So from here onwards, there's no lighting in this area at the moment, nothing on the wall or anything. I'm not going to put anything on the wall, but here, just to bring lighting out into the building, I'm going to have a set of lights coming down from the ceiling. Below there, at an angle, which will line up with the flooring and the pillar when that's put back in place, I'm going to make my own counter or till or whatever you want to call it for clients that come in and want to purchase items or artwork. So I'm going to make my own Art Deco inspired counter. It's going to be a modern, not too traditional, but it's going to be a very modern Art Deco inspired counter. I have the plan in my head. I can see it as I'm talking about it. It looks amazing. But what will come out, you'll see, and we'll see how amazing it is or not, but it will be mine. So with that counter being at an angle, diagonally, so you'll be able to see it looking in here, you'll be able to look, it'll be straight on when you look in, and from this window you'll see it down from the side. Because it will be at an angle, above that counter I want 3 lights hanging, but I also want those in line with the flooring and the counter itself, so everything is all positioned as they would have it. So on the ceiling here, I'm going to drill 3 holes. I've already marked it out. What I did was place a counter from another shop, just place it in place, and then measured from the side walls, measured from the back walls. Then I drew, if I lift this up carefully and show you, if you can see this, I'm not sure, hopefully, in this light. I can't see it properly on the screen, the drawing, but I've measured the different lines here, where the counter would be here, then where it would be here, and the position of it, and then did a 3 row of lights here, where I want more or less where I want the lights to hand. I'm going to measure between these points again and make sure they're just right, so it just looks really nice to the eye. But I'm going to drill 3 holes there. I'll just get my Dremel machine with a drill bit on it and drill the 3 holes. And before that, let's put the lights together. Let me just lay this on here carefully. I've bought lights, as in, I'll show you, this is one of the boxes. They're not ready-made lights, I'm going to design my own. I bought a box of wires with the round bulbs on. I need the round bulbs for this, in my head anyway. Hopefully it will look like I want it to. So I've got these bulbs here. This was also in the package. I have one stainless steel rod with a hole through the middle. There's the hole. And also I have been round to my friend's Chris. She's another dollhouse lady. She lives just around the corner, so I can go and see her any old time, which is absolutely wonderful. She makes tea too. It's like I only seem to stick with people that can make tea. Actually, her partner Paul, he makes a lot of tea. Me and her usually just sit and chat. But I popped round to hers the other day, and Paul had a box of brand new washers, all different sized washers. You can see those. Oh, am I holding them correctly? And I wanted stainless steel or chrome looking washers. So what I'm going to do, I have different sizes. I'm going to glue, super glue one on top of the other. And here we are, they're really nice washers actually. They're flat on one side and cut, sharp and flat on one side, but the top of them, the inner circle and the outer circle are rounded like a donut. Yay for donuts. So what I'm going to do, putting one on top of the other and get the stepped look, I have glued one lot together. So I'm going to do 3 all together, as you know. But here we are, if I hold that up, that's 4 washers from the largest to the smallest, different sizes, and they're, like I say, shiny chrome silver. And then hopefully this is going to look super duper. I'm then going to cut the length that I want of each rod first of all, and then we're going to thread the wires through that up into the rod, and then I'm also going to glue it into, this is actually the ceiling rose for each light, so it will be like that, and it will be a certain length. The wire will come through that rod. This will be attached securely, it just fits in there, so I'll glue that in place and then offer it up to the ceiling and glue it to the ceiling. Then the wire will come down, the bulb will come out the end, they're just nice round bulb, and I shall go and get them because they're in another room. But to finish them off, the lampshades for the, sorry the sun's coming in on me, well I'm not sorry the sun's there, I'm grateful for it. But the light bulb itself isn't just a bare light bulb. I will show you. I'll go and get them and I shall show you the little shades. I'm so excited. Okay, so this little bag with the little stars and things on, this is what they came in. As you can see, they are these little things, little wire things. What I did, I can't show you, well I've already done one, so I'll show you what I've done. But what I did was just get pliers, and that round bit there, I've straightened that up, so it's going straight up, and then push that into the tube and super glued it into place, so the little bar is just on one side of the tube, and that still leaves space for the cable to go through. I got these, let me look again, I couldn't remember how they called it. I got them in Elemental's Magical Emporium, and that's in Wyndham, in the UK. I think that's in Suffolk. But they called it a metaphysical supply shop. So basically I had all incense, oil burners, that kind of thing. In fact, I've got some incense burning and an incense burner on the just there, and I love the smell of them. So I got 3 of these, and as I says, I opened one up, and then I've cut the metal tube into the 3 lengths the same size, and I've glued that on there. And then what I did to thread the wire down inside, the hole at the bottom there where it comes to a closure there, that was just too small to get the bulb through when I pulled the whole thing through. So all I did was to pull the wire apart, just pull the wire apart like that, push the wire through a gap there and push it down, and then I can feed the bulb through, just pull the wire apart again, feed the bulb through, and then all I did was push it so it went down so far, and then of course this is then too soft to try and push it the rest of the way, so I just got the tweezers and just fed it down a little bit at a time, And I think this one was near the very end to come out. Here it is. There. So I can get it at this end and just carefully pull that through. And when the bulb comes to there, I can just stretch this apart and just pull it so the bulb goes inside. Yay! Like so. I don't know if you can see it against my shirt there. So the bulb is in there and that will just light up. Just pull that up. Now, to attach this to the ceiling, what I am going to do is thread this wire through the ceiling rose, we'll call that, made out of the metal washers, and pull it up so far. In fact, I'll do that now. Just thread that through. Now this is these washers are, it's not a ton weight, but they're quite heavy, and it's metal on metal. So I'm not going to try and super glue that to try and hold it in place. What I am going to do is lay it down flat on the counter with this standing straight up, and then I shall get some, then I shall get some blue tack or white tack or plasticine or whatever, anything like that, bit of Fimo, anything, polymer clay, and then I'm just going to pack that around the top there so it holds that in place, and the bar is level with the base of the ceiling rose. And then when that's in place, so I know that that will be held at the right level, I'll turn it upside down and rest it on something, and the bit in there where the bar meets the ceiling rose, I'm going to weld it and just put some welding stuff. I don't know what it's called. I do, but who knows, who cares. And I'm just going to weld that while it's in position, make sure it's set quickly, and then take the blue tack back off. And then when that's done, I can thread it up through the ceiling. And I'll show you what I've done with the ceiling. First of all, I got a drill on the end of my Dremel and drilled 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. It's very noisy, so you don't want to see me doing things like that. It's just very noisy on the video. And then I'll show you, I'll take the camera over. What I did then, I don't know if you can see this, but it has a mini router, whatever we want to call it. It's a bobbly bit, and that you can just use like a pen, and you can draw lines on the wood and then go backwards and forwards, so you go deeper and deeper. And that is a really good idea to file channels from where the light comes up through the ceiling to the back of the house, and then the wire will lie flush in those channels, and then you can lay flooring on top of that. I'll just show you it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's the 3 holes. They're equidistant apart, and then this router here, I just carefully went along a straightish line, straight enough, straight to the end, and backwards and forwards a few times back to the hole. And then when the wire comes up through the ceiling, then you can, if I can get that properly, then you can get that, and that lies down very flush. Some people try to use the drill that they drilled the holes in the first place, and you can use a drill and just carry on doing that, but it does tend to slip side to side and make it quite messy. With the little router tool there, you can get a reasonably straight line. So then they will lie in, and then what I'll do is, once the back is attached to the house, I'll then drill a hole through that as well to the outside, so the wires can go straight out. But with it being in the groove like that, some people don't like doing this because they think, what if you have to replace it or whatever. Then what I will do with that, I shouldn't think I would. I mean, houses like this we've had for some years now, and the lighting has never had to be changed, like the cabling, the actual wiring. But what I will do, just to make double sure for the future, is before I lay this floor in, and I use my adhesive, excuse me, my adhesive spray, which is As I say, nothing is peeling up whatsoever. It's working fantastically. Thank you very much. What I will do before I spray this section to lay the rest of the floor in, I'll just cut a small strip of paper to cover over those lines from right covering up these holes right to the back, and just lay them on carefully. And then once they're held in place, I can even use a tiny bit of tape just to hold them down. Then I'll spray the area, lay the floor in, but the underneath where the wire is through these channels won't actually have glue on it, and the flooring won't actually be stuck to it. So there'll be a bit of paper between the flooring and the wire. So if they ever need to really be completely replaced, then I can carefully pull them back through the ceiling, and this will be, it won't be held down, so it will just slide like so. So it'll just slide underneath. And what I'll do is I'll tie a little piece when I take the wire off at the back there. I would then tie some thread around there very, very securely, and then pull the whole thing through. And then when I pull it through, I can attach new thread and pull the whole thing back again, leaving the thread inside underneath, so I can then pull it back through again, if you get my drift. So let me finish this light, and then I'll attach one to the ceiling and see what it looks like. I'm just holding it in between the two bits of wood here. It's as good a way as any. Yeah. Just unplug this. And then quickly take that out. I'll just have a look and see. Move this out of the way because it's hot. Take off the blue tack. And that has welded securely. I don't know if you can see in there. I've put a few drops around, 3 different sides there. And that. Hurrah! Working. I've got my own bespoke lighting. Right, okay. Let me just put this soldering iron in the kitchen out the way so it can cool down. 1 minute. Okay, so I've turned the ceiling upside down here. So if I just get the wire, poke that through, get the other end, offer that up to the ceiling, like so. And then what I am going to do, I am actually going to super glue this on. I mean, a lot of ceiling roses are glued on permanently, so there's no reason not to glue this on. I just won't touch the wire in the middle or where it's coming out of the little tube there. I'll just put it around the very outside of the washer and just dab enough on to hold it. We don't want anything drastic. The super glue stays quite firm, like so. Let's get rid of that, and then keep the wire straight down so it doesn't touch any glue. And pull. And then I shall leave that just for a minute in place. And then what I'll do is I'll put the ceiling back round again and just give you an idea of what it looks like in the room. Right, okay, well, I'm just leaving that light to dry. I mean, it takes 30 seconds or less than a minute, but just to make sure it's really secure, I'll just leave that while I carry on making the ceiling roses for the other 2. And I'm making those, instead of trying to build all fall up on top of each other right away. I'll do two of the two larger ones and the two smaller ones. So while I'm doing the smaller ones, the larger one will dry and set. So then I can just put one lot on top of another when I'm done. I'm very excited about this, and I'm so glad that this image of these lights came to my mind one night in bed as I do all my thinking, as you guys know, in bed. That's why I never get enough sleep. There we are, and then just you can see those. Sorry, my mug's in the way. Oh, cheers. Yes, so now that's dry now, so if I can get this smaller set, blob of glue. There we are. And put those two on the two bigger ones. And just centre them up before the glue sets, like that. And now these two will be dry, or set in place. Right, there we are, that's it through the other side of the ceiling, and as I said, that will be laying flush in there. A little bit of paper on top and then the flooring, so keep that free to move. And there's the first light in the shop. As I said, the counter will be underneath it. I'll set the other three as well, and then you can get a better idea of how it's going to look. Okay, so there we are. I can just give you a not very good view, but a view all the same of the lights in place. I've wired one up to the transformer, just quickly, just so you can see it. Obviously, I can't do all three like this. So, but as I say, I won't see the house lit up properly until I've done the copper tape at the back, and then you'll see it at the same time as me when we switch the lights on eventually. Hurrah! But that's the lights in place at the moment, so hopefully you'll agree that that's going to look very contemporary for the gallery. Okay folks, there you have it. That's the end of today's video. I don't know if you can just see the light. I've left the light on in there, and I've put the column back in, and you can see the black shiny glass, or the what's meant to be the black glass of the column, shining and reflecting the light there. So when all three are lit up, it will illuminate the column as well. I didn't take that into account, but when I plugged it in and put the column back there, I thought, yay, that's even enhanced it even more. So thank you very, very much for watching, folks. One last cheers. Oh, lovely. So I'm going to have a sit down and a rest. And I have another video that I have begun, and I will finish that off. It's something else for the gallery. It is, it's really, for me, really exciting, and something else. Yet again, something else that I haven't yet done, and I'm going to do that on video for you. Well, I'll finish the video and then get that uploaded, but it is something else for the gallery. And then that may be the last video for the gallery part at the moment. I may do another video for the gallery making the counter. I may leave that till I start putting things in the rooms, but I have got one video to finish just for the gallery for sure. Really exciting one, can't wait to show you. And then I will start, and then I will build the first floor. So we'll be moving on up, as they say. Okay folks, thanks so much for watching again. Take care and keep well, and speak again soon. Bye all.